Hello, this is the second half of Chapter 2 of Worthless Necessity, written by, drumroll please, Curie R. Eugen. The story is called Worthless Necessity. It's a fan fiction of My Hero Academia. It includes Shindeku. If you don't agree with it, move on. If I even see one, comment about why your ship is better than Shindeku, I will post so much yaoi and gay bullcrap that you're going to wish you bleach your eyeballs. Now, on with the story. Okay, wait, Second half of Part 2, Chapter 2. You're so far gone. You okay? Midori asked. I am fine, thank you very much, Nezu nodded. And you are? I don't think I know a hero with your appearance and size. Void, Midori replied. That was the name he usually went by. All the heroes he had encountered knew him by that name. He didn't want to hold a conversation with Nezu as much as he liked and admired the animal hero. He didn't want the poor fellow finding out his identity anytime soon. He leapt up the ladder, climbing to the roof. As Midoriya made his way to the park to take a breather, he often stopped by the park in the dead of night. Riku liked the fresh air. Midoriya just enjoyed the peace and quiet. He hopped off the roof, landing in a crouch before he looked around, feeling someone following him, but not anything amiss. He just jogged down to the park and sighed. Before finding the bench, he usually sat down and plopped down. His mother used to bring him to this bed when he was younger, and they used to have picnics, and Midori shook his head. No more bad memories. He didn't want to break that mask he spent so hard making. The metaphorical mask. The mask that made him apathetic to everything around him. Nothing matters anymore. Humans were scum, and those who weren't influential enough weren't able to do anything. Riku popped out of his hoodie and looked around before mewing and hiding back in his hoodie. Someone was here, and Midori tried to look around without appearing to look for someone, and found that someone was walking towards him. Nezu, to be in fact. The hero wasn't exactly the most discreet, and was easily recognizable from a mile away when he was wearing gloves and was walking on his hind legs. Midori had no idea he didn't recognize him before he jumped into the fray. Hello, Void, I wasn't expecting to see you here, Nezu greeted. I'm pretty sure you knew I would be here, Midori snorted. Well, if you don't mind, may I sit here? Midori raised an eyebrow at Nezu's question. Why are you asking? Of course I can sit here. I don't own the bench. I literally can't stop you from sitting down. Nezu gave him a small smile as he climbed up on the bench next to Midoriya. Most people don't approve, even if they aren't vocal about it. You're one of the few people who are completely fine with it seems. It was silent for some time until Midori spoke up. Can I ask you a question? Sure, ask away. You were experimented on before, aren't you? How can you tolerate humans, work with them, ignore the discrimination, make your way to the top despite everyone being against you? Nezu looked at the boy in surprise. Not many people nowadays didn't really know about that. He's been the principal of UA for a long time. Even when Aizawa and Yama were students. Aren't you human yourself? Nezzy watched as the vigilante's form slumped, as he leaned against the pipe in the back bench. No, not a pipe. As he leaned against the back of the bench. The principal of UA was good at reading people. He found he could barely read Void at all. He could tell he wasn't malicious, but that was about it. Humans are scum. They lie, they cheat, they do anything in order to make themselves feel better about their pathetic selves. And they're completely okay using others as their stepping stones for them. They take advantage of others for their own gain. They're selfish, and they cause everything around them to suffer. They destroy so much yet complain they don't have enough. It's a pity that they're the dominating species, even though they're more savage and monstrous than the worst carnivores. Nice animals do it for survival. Humans make animals, and even other humans suffer, just because they're sick bastards who get a kick out of it. Nezu noted how Midori used the word they to describe humans, almost as if he's not a part of them. Then again, he does have that mindset. It's no wonder why he didn't want to be associated with them. Void has always been described as a mysterious person, appearing to enter a fight, win, and disappearing without a trace. Several heroes have encountered the vigilante, such as Nishaya, Yamada, and Kamaha. God, I butchered those badly, didn't I? Oh, quick side note, please do not hunt me down for any names I mispronounce, please. I suck at speaking as it is, and this has taken a lot of confidence just to, do this, so please just be nice to me. Thank you. And the one thing they have in common is that they mentioned that the vigilante seemed to have an analysis quirk of some sort, easily being able to figure out what their quirk is and exactly how it works. Void would usually give them tips on how to better use their quirks, then mentioning something about learning how not to be reliant on it before he disappeared. None of the other heroes have seen him more than 5 minutes, and never more than once. And Void was the one that tipped Yamada off about a case 5 or 6 years ago, which ended up Aizawa busting into rescue and ended up adopting a kid with a brainwashing quirk who was being abused, and bullied. He did mention in a meeting that Void didn't seem to have a quirk, since he claims he fights quirkless, and there's no trace of quirk uses whatsoever. Well, besides the villains, but that's apparently it. It seemed unlikely, given how the vigilante appeared and disappeared, and even the insight he gave on those quirks. Most heroes found Void slightly annoying. He wasn't vicious. His methods in taking criminals down had to be questioned slightly, but to Nezu, Doria just looked like a kid who was tired of the world, broken from everything thrown at him. His voice, God. Nezu swore he was barely 13, 14 at the maximum. Why was the vigilante so young? Midori replied. I thought about it. All they care about is quirks. You have a powerful quirk and you're a hero. All you can do whatever you want and literally no one would bat an eyelash. That's all they care about. If you don't have a quirk, you're not considered human. When 80% of the population has a quirk, most of them that don't are from older generations. Now she stared at him blankly. That's some interesting insight there. You don't think that quirks aren't important? It's not that. Quirks aren't important, sure, but just look at Eraserhead or Zaiwa Shota. You probably know him. He works at your school as a homeroom teacher. His quirk lets him erase quirks. Kinoi's mutant quirks, yet he's still a decent underground hero. Then look at freaking Endeavor. He's a strong quirk, one that people all over Japan praises as heroic, as a powerful quirk. Yet that guy is a little definition of an abusive asshole. Hold on. Pause story real quick and Killer, you better not disrupt me this time. You wanna come? Killer! You did to me, Tyler!
Let's go back.
I know, I love you. Sorry. Back to the story. But, Nezu really had no idea how to react. Or more, he wasn't sure how to react. This was something that clearly upsetted Midoriya. While he wanted to pry, he didn't want to say something wrong. By accident, I set him up. Maybe he was abused too? Maybe that's why he says about Endeavor? Mind explaining? Midoriya growled. Endeavor is an asshole to people. He causes more property damage than the rest of the top 10 heroes combined. He has the highest villain kill count, and his wife is in a psychiatric ward. The news states she poured water on Todoroki's face, but the bastard off other people's comments that she was loving and caring, and would not do something like that to her younger son. While Rei was being escorted from her house to the psychiatric ward, picture shows that the kids, namely Shoto, was afraid of Endeavor. As you can see in the picture, that Tokyo Mifumi and Tokyo Natsu were running after their mother, while Endeavor held them back. Endeavor has 4 kids. Todoroki Toya, he ran away quite some time ago. Tokuro Fumi Natsu and Sumi, based on the hair colors. Toya has a fire quirk, Fumi and Natsu have ice quirks, and only Todoroki has a balance between both quirks. Based on the pictures, their social media pages, Endeavor ignores Fumi Natsu, has been training Toya and Shoto. Presumably because of the fire quirks, Toya ran away even before Rei poured boiling hot water on Shoto. If Endeavor was a good father, there's no way he would ignore his 2 of his kids, make Toya run away, and make Shoto fear him so much. God, that was a dismal. Nezu hummed. He had expected something was off, but at the time, NJ had been so insistent that it was Rhea's at fault. He couldn't investigate it at all. Most of the police and detectives didn't want to work with him, and he didn't want to work with other heroes. He was familiar with this case, with the entire matter was published, and they got into trouble with the number 2 hero. Now he really wanted to investigate. He needed to. The fact that a teenager was able to detect all this from a few social media posts and newspaper clippings showed this was a huge problem. Even if NG wasn't abusive, he could give people the wrong idea about everything. Thank you for your strong insight. I did expect something was wrong. I'm surprised no one else saw the signs. Midoriya sighed and leaned back on the bench. They won't let you investigate? Midoriya took Nezu's silence as he asked. They sat there in silence until Nezu sighed and looked at his watch. Well, it's rather late, or in this case, early. You never did answer my earlier question. Nezu glanced at Midoriya, who was looking at him in the corner of his eyes before replying. There's not much you can do when you're different. I'm smart, yes, but it's not enough to change the world. I can't change how people perceive me. I just have to deal with it. Even if I had a choice, I definitely wouldn't choose to work with most humans that I have to interact with. That's why I plan to change the rules to let quirkless students enter UA course. I want to teach the future generation not to be biased just purely against someone's quirks. Midoriya stayed quiet before responding. Ready? Nezu turned to the boy and waited for him to clarify. Midoriya spoke with disbelief latching in his voice. You're willing to let someone quirkless enter the Pro Hero course, even if they have no powers, even if they're unable to stand up for themselves, even if everyone considers them useless and in other ways of space, even if they're better off dead? Nezu frowned. I didn't think you would be the one to say it after what you just said. The quirkless aren't useless. If they try, I'm sure they can accomplish what they set out to do. Thank you. That is the first time anyone has ever said that to me. Nezu blinked. What? Midoriya gave him a dry, humorous laugh. Have two pinky toe joints. He was taken aback. He wasn't expecting Midoriya to actually meant something like that. The quirkless have always been discriminated against. The suicide rate was higher for the quirkless population was increasing. I wonder why he was so angry and upset. Nezu was just glad the boy hadn't tried to take his life yet. He didn't know how wrong he was. Midoriya stood up. You're recording this, aren't ya? Nezu chuckled. Worried I'm going to do something with it? No, I didn't break any rules. I never used a quirk against anyone. You can't turn me in or use this against me. True. Midoriya stood up and made his way out of the park. Thanks for letting me talk. It's just nice being able to interact with someone who isn't human. Void. Midoriya stopped, turned around when he heard Nezu call his name. Would you like to meet again? Same day next week? Nezu swore he caught a smile off the vigilante's face. Maybe some faint meowing, but it could be a stray cat. If it's no bother to you. That was the end of chapter 2, and oh my gosh, that is all, folks. So, do chapter 3 later on. Anyways, this is Midnight Dusk, signing out.